I have seen employers keeping a passport copy of the migrant worker spouse and their address proof and all that. You don't need to do that. Why do you want to? Even within GDPR, you are not allowed to keep more data than necessary, right? You would be in breach of GDPR law. So don't do that. Hi, so in my previous video of part 1 of sponsor license compliance, I did cover 2 pillars. Now let's talk about the pillar number 3, and here we are. Number 3 is maintaining daily attendance. How do you do that? So if you are in office environment and your employees are working, let's say 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, with lunch hour break, which is paid or unpaid break, specific fixed hours, right, at a specific location, and which is confirmed in the employment contract. It's office environment, office place. They are working fixed hours, fixed days every week, and fixed work location in the employment contract. If it's there, that means that's their daily attendance. Based on their employment contract, they're supposed to be there in the office in specific hours, specific days at specific location. Brilliant. That's their daily attendance. You don't need to maintain any specific register for that, right? Easy. But because we are in this pandemic situation, there is a remote work culture now, then how do you monitor attendance? It can be as simple as spreadsheet, and it has to be live attendance. You can't do weekly attendance or monthly attendance. So if the home office was to visit your premises, then they won't say, okay, give us the attendance of the day, and it has to be live attendance. So make sure either you take a manually live attendance on a spreadsheet or any other tool you might have. There are very sophisticated softwares out there. One software which I'm aware of is called Open Time Clock. So if you search on Open Time Clock on Google, you will find it. It records attendance. I don't have any affiliation with them, by the way. There might be some fees to pay to them, but it's something I have been recommending to my client. It works well for them, and it records daily attendance with the location as well. So there is location tracking as well, and it, check in, check out. And you might have other softwares where they can do check in, check out. As long as there is a live attendance, brilliant, simple, easy. Now absences mean that so home office, what's your policy and procedure around recording absences and of course, normally if it's a small organization, employee will email to the manager, they will approve via email, perfectly fine. You don't need to have a specific leave request form. Don't create it for the sake of creating it. Many of my clients, when I visit them for the compliance audit, so we do provide that service, by the way. We go out to clients, we prepare them remotely or on premises for their compliance visit, so they be successful, they pass their audit, they retain their license, or they get their license. We do that. So majority of the clients I do visit, not professionally trained, they do keep a lot of information and document which is of no use. So it's additional administrative task for them, bringing no value for themselves or to the home office. It's completely unnecessary. So don't do that. You don't need to create leave request form for the sake of compliance. You don't need to keep address proof of your employees. There is no need within the UK immigration compliance for sponsorship to keep address proof. I have seen employers keeping a passport copy of the migrant worker spouse and their address proof and all that. You don't need to do that. Why do you want to? Even within GDPR, you are not allowed to keep more data than necessary, right? You would be in breach of GDPR law. So don't do that. So going back, absences, right? Whatever the process you have, it should be written. That's very important. Just write it down. It can be just as simple as 2 lines on a Word document. Say this is how we record absences. So the absences you can record in a simple spreadsheet. It doesn't need to be too complicated. I have seen people preparing spreadsheet, again too complicated. So what you can do, just employee 1, and whenever they go on leave, let's say on 1st of January to 15th January, and then it says the start date of annual leave, finish date of annual leave, and the reason. only 3 column, right? You don't need to write too much. Employee 1, and then in row you just write dates for employee 1, and then after, let's say, 20 row, you can write employee 2 and their annual leaves, and then employee 3 and their annual leaves underneath. And if you need more row, you can always add more row on the spreadsheet. So how many columns you will have? Name, one column you have name of the employee, another column you have the start date of absence, third column is end date of absence, right? And reason is very important for the home office. Why are they absent, right? So it can be annual leave, it can be sick leave, or compassionate leave, or it can be any leave. You just need to write down the reason. So home office wants to know why is your employee absent and what's the reason. From date, end date. So it can be 1st January to 1st January, sick leave, fine. It works. If it works, so simple, why do you want to make it complicated? You don't need any complicated software. Spreadsheet is fine. If you are a small company. If you are a large organization, we understand. You might have a software. Brilliant if it works for you. The fourth is reporting duties. So I'll put a link in description section below. It's there is a specific reporting duties document from the home office. Just print out and put it in your file and say, look, this is how we will follow our reporting duties. They might ask, can you just let us know what do you know about reporting duties. Then you should be able to pick a few lines. You can of course read it out loud from the document itself if it's too much of you to remember. But normally, if someone doesn't turn up for the job on the very first day, you need to report within 10 days. If there is a change in job title, you need to report. If you terminate the job, you must report within 10 days. So there are a few instances where you need to report the change of circumstances of employees. You don't need to report change of address. Okay, you don't need to report to the home office. People say, oh, my employee has changed address, do I report? No, you don't need to. The fifth one is job description. This is quite common mistakes I have seen in compliance, HR compliance file. You have to have a job description of your employees, and it has to contain job description plus skill, qualification or experience required for the job role, right? It's important to listen. Job description for every employee with skill, qualification or experience required for the job role. It'd be nice if it's on the same document, right? You have to have that document for every sponsored worker on the file. So these are the 5 pillars I wanted to cover in this video around sponsor license compliance. I hope it's extremely helpful. I want to add a bit more information around have to have an employment contract, of course, in the file, no matter whether you are sponsor or not sponsor. It's employment law. It has nothing to do with immigration. So when you take sponsor license compliance, you must abide by the law of the land. So every area of the law of the UK, for an example, employment law, health and safety, GDPR, they can pick anything to refuse your sponsor license. So make sure you abide by all the law of the UK, and that includes employment law. And what it is, you have to give employment contract to your employees. It has to have a start date, potentially end date if it's there. If it's not, it's fine. Then it has to be signed by both the parties, employer and employee. No point of having employment contract not signed, right? So you have to have a signed employment contract by the employer, employee, start date, job title, job description, number of hours and salary, and most importantly, pension scheme and annual leave, at least, right? So whatever the mandatory part within the employment contract has to be there. I've seen some outdated employment contract not having details of pension, which is now mandatory for the UK. So make sure it's there. Let me add one more bonus point. When you prepare a HR file for any sponsored worker, make sure you have a relevant corroborating qualification document, experience documents in the file. And you should check this before you hire your employee. Please collect this information before you hire them, before you sponsor them. Put it in the HR file. If the home office was to visit, they would, why did you hire this software engineer? On what basis? Oh, he has a nice, fantastic CV, he had a great interview. But is that CV legit? I mean, how would we know without evidence? Please invite experience letter or reference letter from your previous employers with their job title, start date, end date, and if possible, job description. I know many Indian employers, they don't provide job description within reference letter. It's fine, but at least job title, started, ended is good. So it's very important, get this on the letterhead paper, keep it in HR file, so that you can demonstrate to the Home Office you did your checks before you hire the employee. One more point, I want to talk about the recruitment policy. The RLMT, Rest Labour Market Test, has been abolished, so it's great. You don't need to run it, but still Home Office are keen to see how did you recruit this person. There has to be some reasonable explanation. You can't simply say, oh, I like this person, so I just brought him in and gave him sponsorship. You need to provide reasonable explanation. It can be as easy as we're running advertisement, we're trying to hire someone and we could not find any. Or okay, where is the advertisement? When did you advertise the role? So the copy of advertisement be helpful. And you did run through the advertisement. How many CVs did you get? I'm sure you would have all this data. Keep it safe. Don't keep a relaxed approach to it, because you might be challenged on genuineness of recruiting sponsored workers. So if you did advertise the position, keep it safe. A copy of advertisement and a report of number of CVs you received. If the CVs you received were not shortlisted, you don't need to keep it. You don't need to keep it in the file. If there were shortlisted CVs, they want to know the reason why you did not hire them. Again, it's a part of recruitment process. It has nothing to do with Rest Labour Market Test. It's more about genuineness of recruiting skilled overseas worker. So I hope that makes sense. It's more about genuineness. And again, it's very self-explained and logical process. It's, oh, we did hire, we were trying to hire. Okay, fine. Where is the job advertisement? How many CVs did you receive? Oh no, there were no shortlisted CVs. Fine. Then of course you would not keep them if there were not shortlisted CVs. But if you did run the advertisement, there might be a copy of it. Pull that out, put it in a HR file. Alternatively, there might be a skilled worker who has been recommended by a colleague who is very good. There is a genuine job role in the business, recommended by a colleague. You interview the person, he is qualified or skilled and experienced, and you interview them. There's a proper interview note, proper CV, proper references, and there's a genuine job role, and you want the person quickly. So there is a genuine role and you need that person. You did run through your recruitment process. You hire the person, you sponsor them, it's fine. Why? Because you need the role to be filled quickly. You've been, the person has been recommended by a colleague. You did run through the recruitment process. You find the person right for the job role, you sponsor them. You don't need to advertise in that case. Does that make sense? Because it's a business need, and this is why the government said, look, we abolish the RLMT, Rest Labour Market Test. You don't need to run advertisement. But again, please explain us the rationale behind hiring the person. So this is how it works in practical world, and I hope this helps. If you like my content, please do subscribe to my channel. I do prepare regular videos helping wider public, businesses with their UK immigration need. I love doing that. So please subscribe to my channel. Help me to spread this knowledge for free to more people likewise yourself. And if you have more comments and questions, please put it in the comment section below right now, so that I can prepare more content for your benefit, and like my video if you like the content. Thank you so much. All the very best with your sponsor license application.